So before starting this lecture, I would like to say like if you have any doubt in previous lecture or in this lecture, so you can just comment in your question, okay, in the question and answer, or you can comment on this video and I will get back to your query as soon as possible. Okay, so let's start with this lecture. So in this lecture, we will just uh, go through types of software testing. So there are different types of software testing. Okay, so it is divided into two category. One is manual testing and another is automation testing. So basically, manual testing is basically used to perform without any use of software tool. Okay, so and it is done by just gathering the requirements and by preparing the test cases and executing those test cases without the use of any software tool for any automation tool we can say. Okay, but in automation testing some software testing tool or automation testing tool is used like Selenium, Java, Apache JMeter for load runner testing. Selenium Java is for functional testing, and Apache JMeter that is for performance testing. So there are different types of automation testing tools like load runner, JMeter, Selenium Java. Okay, so uh, manual testing is further divided into three categories, that is white box, black box, and gray box. So in black box, the user just perform the testing on the application or website just without going through the code. Okay, so there is no need of going through the code. He just see the application on the front end and he checks with the requirement whether it is getting met or not as per the requirement and execute the test cases. So that is black box. In this, there's no need of internal knowledge or coding that is to be required. Okay, that is not required. There's no knowledge of for the tester to be internal coding because he doesn't need to check those code. But in white box, basically the internal coding that is need to be checked for the development. The testers he needs to check the coding of the software development. So that is white box. And gray box, this is a combination of black box and white box. So in this there are some requirement for performing the black box and sometimes it is requiring for the white box. Okay, so consider as an example of an automation tester using Selenium Java. So sometimes he is performing testing. Okay, so in Selenium Java, so there's a requirement of coding in the tool in the Selenium, and he needs to write the code using Java or some other language like Python, okay, or uh, another language. So what he needs to do is he just write some code or test scripts, okay, in the software tool, and sometimes he needs to check whether the code is fine or not. Okay, so this is a gray box because it's a mix of sometimes he needs to test through the application and sometimes he needs to do the check the coding. So manual testing is further divided into black box is divided into another like functional testing and non-functional testing. So functional testing is like whenever we have to check for the functionality that is met as per the requirement by the client or software or user. So like the functionality, as an example, like if transferring a balance from one account to another, that is a functionality. So whether that is working fine or not, if someone is entering the correct account number, so it is transferring, and on clicking on transfer button, so that transfer is happening or not. This is an example of functionality. Okay. So functionality testing is further divided into three types: unit testing, integration testing, and system testing. So what happened in the initial stages of the development? So once the module has been developed by a developer, so he performs unit testing for that code that he has written for that module. That is called unit testing. And once it has been integrated to another module, so that that is called integration testing. When a tester performs on on a module which has been integrated with another module or modules, so that is the integration testing, whether they are working, combining of those modules that are working fine or not. The next is system testing. System testing is the end-to-end testing when complete software has been developed as per the requirement. All of the software has been developed and the functionality of all the components that is has been done, that is system testing. Okay. Now the integration testing is divided into two other parts, like incremental testing and non-incremental testing, which have another divided into top down and bottom up. Okay, like this. So there is non-functional testing which is not related to functionality. Like, so this is the performance testing, like how the system is performing. Okay, so this is a non-functionality, it's not related to functionality, so that's why it's come under non-functional testing. Another is usability testing, like how the user is able to use the application, whether it is easy for the user to use the application, so or is it difficult to use the application. Okay, so that is usability testing. Third one is the compatibility testing, how compatible the software or application in many devices, whether it is working fine in Android or iOS uh, application device, how well it is performing on Windows, and how well it is performing on Mac system. Okay, so these are the compatibility, whether it is working fine or it is compatible on that device or not. So these are some questions. So then come the load testing. So performance testing also categorized in four types. One is load testing, stress testing, scalability testing, stability. Although these are all the kind of performance testing. Okay, so the in the load testing, basically a particular load is given to the application so that we can come to know like how much load it can uh, you know accept. Okay, beyond that the application should not crash. As an example, so like in many companies or buildings, so there is an elevator or lift, and in which there is mentioned like only 7% are allowed, or weight up to uh, you know 80 kg is acceptable. So there's some point or some load the application can withstand. Beyond that it will crash. So that is load testing. So we just check for the application like how much load it can accept. Okay, next is stress testing. Basically stress testing, like how much stress, at what point the application will crash. that is stress, how much stress it can uh, accept. Okay, now is scalability testing and stability testing. Stability testing is basically like how the application is stable. This is mostly done for the servers. Okay, uh, so what happen is like how much the stable, like if the continuous transaction that will happen on the server, on the database server, so how stable that server will be. So uh, we for a limited period of time, okay, so the server should be stable if multiple transactions that's happening on that server. For that, stability testing is done. Okay, so like this, these are the type of software testing. And next is, so there are also some other type of software testing. In software testing, we also have some other type of testing that are not part of any above discussed testing, but those required while testing any software or an application. Okay, so there is smoke testing and sanity testing. These are very important terms. Regression testing, these are mostly asked in the interview questions. Okay, user acceptance testing, exploratory testing, ad hoc testing, security testing, globalization testing. So let's start with smoke testing. So basically, smoke testing is a kind of testing. Like what happens, uh, like in the software testing life cycle, or SDLC, like one in the beginning, the build we received is basically has most of the time has lots of error. Okay, so after sometimes that builds we receive from the dev team, so that will have less, it gets stable and there will be less, bugs. Okay, so like smoke testing is done in the later part of the software cycle, software development life cycle, in which like when minor bugs are fixed and the build is received. Okay, so basically smoke, like whenever we received a build from the dev team and we check for the major functionality whether that is working fine or not. Okay, so smoke testing is done. We just perform the major test cases or critical test cases or major functionality that is working fine as per the requirement or not. If that is working fine, so basically we accept the build from the dev team. But if the major functionality is not working, so we as a developer, sorry, as a tester, like we just testing team just reject that build. Okay, so that's why smoke testing is done. It is done in the beginning part of the software development life cycle. And but sanity testing is done in the later part when the minor bugs have been fixed by the dev team and they have released the build to the tester. Okay, so testing team they will just sanity testing is a kind of subset of regression testing. Uh, okay, so when minor bugs has been fixed by the dev team and they have released the build, so basically we perform sanity testing. Okay, so and it has done in the later part of the life cycle, software development life cycle, where smoke testing in the has been done in the beginning part of the SDLC. So regression testing is basically like whenever the bug has been fixed, so and we have received the build, so we checked for whether the new issue has been resolved, fix, new issue has been evolved or not, whether there will be new issue created or not. So for that we perform regression testing. Testing team is doing all this testing. And user acceptance testing is basically we deliver the software to the user, and or they have been invited, uh, like we just deliver the software to the deliver by in some organization. Basically what they do, they create another environment like UAT environment, and they just give it to the uh, they give access to the users, okay, like who are the clients, okay, and they perform testing and they check whether it is meeting as per the requirement or not, the software is as per the requirement or not. If they find any issue, so they just let us know. Okay, next is exploratory testing. So basically like once software tester, we don't have any test cases, so to just learn the application, exploratory testing is done by that tester. He will just go through the application and just learn the application what it is, and also do the testing, find the issues in that. Okay, what is ad hoc testing? Ad hoc testing is also like a just performing a application, checking the application by the tester, and just doing monkey like testing, from going from one application to another application, from one module to another module, but not to learning, just doing as a guest testing. Security testing is very important. It is to check whether the application should not get hacked by any hacker. Okay, so there are some SQL injections that need to be, tested, and security testing to be test done, so that how secure the application is from the hackers. Okay, it should be secure enough. Okay, globalization testing is for the multi-language. Global means, globally, like we say, like uh, around the world. So it is for the multi-language testing. So like as an example, one website that is in for Canada country, and is also for some other country like USA, and some other country China. Okay, so they have different branches in different countries. So there will be option on the website like selecting the Canada site, China site. So once that will set, so China, selecting the China site will display the language as Chinese. Okay, and once Canada site will select, so it will display English language. So for that globalization testing needs to done, whether the language is whether it is performing well for the different languages. Okay, so these are the type of testing. I will see you in next video. Thank you so much.